Hi! Welcome to Science Sunday, or apparently my Astro office hours. I am your host, Annie Wilson. My lovely dog assistants. Hey, get on screen. My lovely canine assistants are Tinker and Puck. Puck is the bigger, white, fluffy one. Tinker is the smaller, black and tan one. You will probably see Puck. Puck likes, Cheerios. Got it right that time. Alright, so today we're going to be playing around with Fitz Liberator. Keeper of Map says, if you took two Oreos apart and reassembled them yourself, that would be kind of like homemade. Really? Really? Come on. Oh no, I may have deleted the Fitz Liberator command. That's my bad. So, yeah, we're going to play with Fitz Liberator. And a couple of weeks ago, we had essentially decided on NGC 1300, which is beautiful. It is gorgeous. And I take them apart and add peanut butter. You like the new overlay? Yeah, I like the new overlay too. Hi, Bad Panda Bear! So, loopholes. Keeper of Maps is not doing any favors to me or my waistline. So yeah, we have NGC 1300. I forget, where is it? I have to move windows around. I forget which, oh, it just doesn't show the top. Well, at the very top, it has the file name. I must have cut that off at some point. But I managed to find, NGC happens to have four, not two, not three, but four different data captures of with different filters. I had to think about Hey, Veronica! I had to think about what I was thinking about. So, what we're going to do with Fitz Liberator today is we're going to take all four images, excuse me, because there's 4 images. Take all 4 images, essentially play with the contrast and stuff. I just realized there's no dogs in the thing. Play with the contrast, essentially pull out as many details as we can without making it look overexposed, I guess is the best word for it. So, yeah, here we go. Also, for anybody that's curious, this is a humongous image, as I think you can see in it'll be the XY data right here. It is nearly 12,000 pixels wide and over 9,000 pixels tall. So yeah, this is a pretty big image, and this is just one of 4, so my final saved image is going to be, or my final saved Photoshop project is going to be huge. Huge. So, this is the largest I can get it. I can zoom in on different things. So, feel free to ask questions about Fitz Liberator if you're following from home, because you can do that because Fitz Liberator is free, the data is free, cool. But we're just gonna dive right into it. And I apologize if there aren't always dogs in the corner. Please, for questions, please use the question emote, or just put several question marks at the beginning of the thing, and hopefully or tag me. Yes, tag me at it. That's how we want to do it. Thank you, Paranor. So what's it liberating and from whom? Alright, so part of the liberation is turning it from a Fitz file, which is a standardized astronomy file type, which contains a bunch of info, but that's not really handy for, making pictures pretty. We're going to turn it from a fits to a TIFF. We can work with the TIFF in Photoshop. We can't really work with the fits in Photoshop. There's extra data in there that we don't really need that are important for astronomers, but we're just making space pictures pretty. And yes, images from telescope do come down all in grayscale. These are still data. Pictures are data. And all four of these are from Hubble. And the wonderful thing, I can't remember which one I needed to do. We're just going to play around with these. The wonderful thing about getting images from the Hubble Legacy Archive is that it drizzles them all together for me, so I don't have to do a lot of work. I just essentially have to be like, this is what I want. Meanwhile, if I had pulled I'm just flipping through the things, don't worry about it. If I had pulled the images, the essentially raw fits images that hadn't been processed at all, I could process them myself. The problem is I need software that I don't have, and the astronomy world runs on Mac and Linux, or Unix, depending. Hey, that's not where the Cheerios are. You're on the wrong side. Go to where the Cheerios are. Go. But yeah, the astronomy world runs off of Mac and Linux, and hey Larry! And I run Windows on this machine. On a previous generation of machine, I had Linux. But I don't think I'm going to try to resurrect that machine. That one just may be dead. Hey, Astro YYZ! So, let's see. Flipping down. Yeah, Keeper of Maps, how was the concert? Really? Why are you not doing the thing? Did we break it? Alright, this is why we have a reset button. Whoa. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty. Look at that, guys. I think it had zoomed it way out from what I had previously. So yeah, let's hit reset. And let's do, what was it, this one? That one had a lot of data. Oh, the concert's tonight. Well, I hope it goes well. Break a leg. And I hope nobody throws bells at each other, although, you know, because you don't have small children, nobody should be throwing bells at each other. Most of you don't realize this, but Keeper of Bells is now a conductor, director? I think conductor is a better term. Of a handbell group. And handbells are literally bells that you hold in your hands and you ring. And I'm amused at the at DPI's comment. Larry, did it ever occur to you that Mac OS is a Unix OS? Yes, because now Mac and Unix play nicely together, which makes all the astronomers happy. Hey, you. I don't know why she keeps looking over there for food. There's no food next to me. Aww. Bobbled a baton. Just more than what I could say. Alright, so we have log, that, log. I don't like that one. Although it doesn't look overwashed. That one we might be able to fix. Alright, let's do... I kind of liked that. And we'll insert black as background level. Though I think I can... Wasn't I able to... See, I like this method. Oh, yeah, there, I can do it. It's been a while since I've used this. So I like this particular stretch function because you can see all the pretty gas stuff. Hey! Thanks for the subscription! Hooray! 6 months in a row. Oh, look, a button. Really? Really? Oh, look, a button. Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of gas, and then this will be all really pretty. And then the blue stuff over here is essentially black clipping, which I'm okay with that, actually. I'm more worried about the white clipping here. So what we're going to do is zoom in, and we're going to do the white level picker tool, and that turn that down a bit. And then we're going to zoom back out, and we're going to do the black picker tool on where the black thing is, and that got rid of the fly those rockets, CosmoQuest. I think it did. Did it do the thing? It's supposed to do the thing. It's supposed to do the thing. It's supposed to do the thing, so I don't have to think about doing the thing. What is black and white clipping? Somebody else in chat may have a better answer, but I like to think of it as it is the software's way of telling me, hey, this is off the charts, one way or the other. White clipping is, hey, this is off the charts on the white end, and black clipping is, hey, this is off the charts in the black end. Hey, thanks for the sub, YYZ. 2 months in a row. Woo! Or do I not have? I should have the thing. The donation goal, alert widget. You know what? I think the alert widget was behind Fitz Liberator. I am so sorry about that. Hey, Matt. Yeah, that's a good way. Matt says overexposed and underexposed parts of the image. Yeah. That. Hey, nobody asked your opinion. I apologize. That happens sometimes. But yeah, hi Matt. Thanks for the much more accurate definition. Because parts of my brain are like, yeah, that's what it is, and the other parts of my brain are like, I don't know what you're talking about. So, okay. There. Now we should be able to see things going off when they go off. But yeah, I don't want them that exposed. So I'm trying to get rid of all the white clipping. And that still shows a lot of the gas. And we can see the pretty bar there. Yeah! Thanks for pitching in, guys, because my brain is still not quite right. You. Oh, Paranoid. I don't think coffee would fix my brain not being quite right, man. It's kind of funny. I thought I was supposed to go and have like MRI done on my head. Nope, nope, nope. CAT scan on a totally different part of my body. I got a concussion back in August? Yeah, I think it was August. I got a concussion back in August. And I was doing all right. until I wasn't doing all right. So this is still picking up a lot of this background noise, which I really don't want. And I'm okay if it's considered black clipping, because it's all the blue, which marks the black clipping, is not in the galaxy itself. So, and it's not around the stars. Right, exactly. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I want to adjust the levels. And then some people are like, but what are levels? I'm like, you know, the levels. But yeah, I got a concussion back in early August. I was doing great. Then I went to a conference in October, and I've had post-concussion symptoms since. Like, I literally have a headache right here on this part of my head. It doesn't hurt enough for me to take painkillers, but it's there. And the rest of the world is like, you shouldn't have headaches like that. So, and I'm like, I know, right? This is weird. So eventually, I'm supposed to go see a neurologist to go get that all checked out. But I see the neurologist before I go to my next conference, which I'm like, oh, this should be fun. Alright, I'm okay with the level of black clipping here, simply because, and I'll zoom in so you guys can see it better, you guys actually have a much bigger view of the entire window than I'm looking at. Believe it or not. I can't make this little window any bigger. But, hey! Hi, Metacorn! Yay! Thanks for the raid! Hi! Welcome! So, hello! I'm Annie, and we're working on images from telescopes. Right now, I am cleaning them up so we can pop them into Photoshop the next time I work on this to add color. So, fun fact, images from telescopes come down in grayscale. And they are taken with different filters, which allow us to add different colors. So, I'm going to zoom out so y'all can see this. But this is the Galaxy NGC 1300, taken with the 435 wide filter. That's 435 nanometers, I believe. What do you mean I am mute? Oh. Okay, that's why I was like, what? Whew, whew, whew. I was like, hey, I checked all my audio. I've been chatting this whole time. All right. Oh. So yeah, hi Metacorn's crew. The last time you guys saw me, I was playing Human Fall Flat and about ready to fall asleep. So, poor Larry. So I just finished this one. So we're going to, hey, thanks for the follow, Sky Blue Denver. Denver-o? That looks like Sky Blue Denver water to me, with multiple languages. It looks like it's had a fun life. Yeah. Hey, thanks for the follow, Lewis. New friends. All right. So I have the doggy cam up and there's no dogs. Hey, Puck Tinker. Puck Tinker. Puck Tinker. Wow, you guys are slow. All right. So the fluffy dog is Puck. Of course, now you see his butt. Thanks for the follow, Merlin. Woo! What camera model settings for this image? So vile. This was taken by Hubble Space Telescope. This was taken with the WFC3. Thanks. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Thank you so much for all the follows. Need more Cheerios. I might actually have to go get more Cheerios. So yeah, this photo was taken with Hubble. And hi new people. This photo was taken with Hubble with the WFC3 camera. Nope, I don't remember what that stands for. I do know it's one of the newest cameras. Tune in, dog butt cam. Yeah, I tossed a lot of Cheerios. Hey, Puck. Hey, Puck. Hey, Puck. Come here. Sit. Can you say hi to our new friends? Can you speak? Come on, speak. Come on, say hi. Say hi to all our new friends. Oh, that's a good boy. Okay, have some more Cheerios. So, yeah. This was taken by Hubble. All Hubble and all Space Telescope images come down in grayscale for reasons. This program is called FITS Liberator, and it literally liberates the images from FITS format, which is used universally in astronomy and actually is a photo standard. But FITS doesn't play nice with Photoshop. So, hey, thanks for the follow! Fibrous Bonsai? But yeah, FITS doesn't play nice with Photoshop, and Photoshop is where we get the pretty images. All the pretty images you've ever seen from Hubble are made by people who literally go through the data, clean it up using various tools, some of which I don't have, and I don't have any knowledge of. And Tinker's on screen now. Yes, it's UViz IR. The filter is 435 wide. I'm just trying to catch up with chat and everything else. So, yeah. All the photos you've ever seen of Hubble that are in the pretty pictures are made by people, sometimes actual real scientists, because scientists do this as, a thing. And they assign different colors to different filters based on a bunch of different things. It could be to bring out certain features of one gas over another gas, or dust, the structure like in UV or X-ray versus what we can see visible. So, yeah. This is part of that process. You can go and do this for yourself if you wish. You can check out MAST or HLA. HLA is the Hubble Legacy Archive. All this data is freely available. FITS Liberator is free, and you can use GIMP for this, for like the adding color portion, and I have done it, but I prefer Photoshop for a variety of reasons. So yeah, I love false color images file. They are totally some of my favorite. Hey, Puck. They are totally some of my favorite because, yeah, they're pretty. But a lot of people don't realize, hey, Star Song, welcome. A lot of people don't realize that there's some serious science to those. Like, once we do things like this with the data, we can see all these different structures that we may or may not have known were there before. So yeah. So this is with the, sorry, I'm looking at the title thing. 435 wide filter. And I'm going to save it, and you guys won't be able to see any of this process, which is sad. Yeah, kind of is like looking at the world with infrared filters. The planetarium conference I was at actually had a little hands-on science demo talking about filters, and you took actual physical filters, and they had a couple different drawings with, they were just red and blue filters, easy stuff. And you were able to see or not see different things drawn or written on the paper based on what filter you were looking through. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, we'll let it save because it takes a while. And now we're going to bad auto mod. Yeah, we totally have Doggy Cam. Tinker is on Doggy Cam right now. right, so that was 435. Now we're going to do 555. And this is a wide filter instead of a narrow band filter. Hey, AcedCon? I'm going to go with AcedCon. Hi, hello. So many new friends! Yeah. Oh wow, this one popped up pretty nicely, although it did save all my settings from the previous image. So we're just gonna pop right in. Hey, downslide! Wisconsin. Thanks for the follow. Ah, new friends! I'm so excited about the new friends. New friends make me happy. So, hey! Well, you know, sometimes with tech stuff, all you need to do is turn it off again. On and off again. Hey, Moko418, thanks for the follow. Oh my god, new friends. Ah! Here, have some Cheerios, doggies. The first rule of tech. It doesn't work, reboot it. Totally reboot it. And even then, I guess sometimes it fixes stuff and sometimes it doesn't. So this used literally the same settings as my other image. And again, it's clipping out a lot of the stuff we don't care about, but it's keeping all of the pretty gas clouds and, you know, stars, because here's a star there, there's a star there. Those will, the first rule is to curse at it, threaten it with blunt objects, kick it. Shh. First you reboot, then you threaten. I think my favorite thing to do with the star ball at work when I was working on it was being like, do you want me to call Jason? Because I'll totally call Jason. Jason is the name of the tech from... Hey! Apparently there's something really interesting outside that they're going to bark at. But it's like, do you want me to call Jason? Because I'll totally call Jason. Jason's the tech that comes and works on our star ball. He comes and cleans it once a year. And it is very expensive to have Jason out for non-related reasons. You beat Za. Do you know what eccentricity to us that galaxy is? Unfortunately, no, I do not. That is a very good question. I'm sure somebody in chat is already Googling that for an answer. Oh, there's a little bit of black cutoff here, but I don't think it's going to affect us too much. It looks literally like individual pixels. I think we'll be fine because it doesn't mess with the overall structure. There's part of me that wants to adjust it and be like, no, fix that arm. You know what? I think I will. But I'm thinking that might just be... Oh, I know what this is. These were multiple images taken and then lined up together, and that might be from the seam now that I'm looking at it, but we reduced it. I'm afraid to reduce it too much. I think we'll be fine. So I'm going to save. Hey, Andrea. Hi, welcome. More new friends. Hi. So, I apologize to everybody that's heard this spiel before. Hi, I'm Annie Wilson. Today we are looking at... I actually have to pause and think. I'm sorry. My brain is moving faster than my mouth. Today we're looking at essentially raw data from the Hubble Space Telescope. It's not super raw. It's been processed a little bit simply because Hubble doesn't take long rectangular images like this. They take more square images that have to be stacked and what they call drizzled together. So we pulled those files from HLA, Hubble Legacy Archive, downloaded them. They are in the FITS format, which is universal and a standard within the astronomy community. but Photoshop doesn't play well with FITS format. So we're using Photoshop Liberator to kind of clean up the image, making sure that the parts that are black and the parts that are white are white. And then we're going to export it and save it as a TIFF. And next time, excuse me. Next time, hi, thanks for the follow, Krampus. Next time, we're going to pull them into Photoshop. If you have any questions, please at me. I kind of try to keep an eye on chat, but it's on a different screen, and my focus is in a gazillion different directions. If I can't answer it, somebody in chat probably can. I am not a trained astronomer. I am not an astrophysicist. I literally have a degree in computer science, and the entire time I've been in college, almost, university, I've been working with the university's planetarium. So this is my connection to astronomy, is through being essentially the tech person for all the planetarium stuff. So, message upside down. So, yes, GIMP does work not with FITS, but GIMP does work with TIFFs. When I started doing this, I did use GIMP. I was running Linux. I didn't have the money for Photoshop, and I had actually found a tutorial that took you step by step through how to do it with FITS Liberator and GIMP. So yes, you can do this with GIMP. I prefer Photoshop because layers and adjustment layers and things, and GIMP was a little awkward. It's doable, it totally is, but it's a little awkward, and it's not the industry standard for the people that actually colorize these images for a living. So, hello, Krampus, even if I said hello to you before. So yes, we do have Doggy Cam. I have Cheerios. And for any bit donation and any Streamlabs donation of more than $10, I will totally make it rain Cheerios. So who you see right now on Puck, or who you see on Doggy Cam right now is Puck. Hey, can you sit? Hey, can you say hi to our new friends? Speak. Come on. Yeah? Is that how you say hi? Speak. Oof. There you go. That's a good boy. He'll find the Cheerio, don't worry. He's really good at that. Hey, Paul Person. Yes, so there is another dog. And Arf. You're totally off camera. Come on, over here a bit. Come on. He's like, but I just want that treat, Mom. I just want that treat. There is another dog. And the Puck is an American Eskimo. Tinker is a dachshund. Tinker is black and tan, and her ear is flipped over because I haven't fixed it. Oh, you're close enough for me to fix it now. There you go. You may only see Puck on camera. Bad auto mod. Oh my goodness. Ooh, looks like you mean the galaxy looks like a piece of candy? Yeah, it kinda does. You know, if we're gonna get in that holiday spirit of, you know, candy being all wrapped up, it kinda does. This is a barred spiral galaxy. So, and you can kind of see the bar right there, and then it's got 2 arms, which, you know, you only need 2 arms to be a barred spiral galaxy. And the filter is a wide filter, but all the white stuff that you see that's like kind of fuzzy, this is all gas and dust. And there are a few stars like that. Right here's a star. Further away from the arms, these are stars. These may be stars that are actually in the galaxy. They may have been separated from their galaxy because, fun fact, not all stars are in galaxies. Bad auto mod. So, And in the center, this really bright thing you see, which I need to apparently adjust the white clipping. This really bright thing is the actual center of the galaxy. There we go. That's the actual center. And it probably has a 12-year-olds are going to giggle. But spiral galaxies they're not flat. They actually have like a bulge in the middle. And we're looking at this face on. There's Sombrero Galaxy, I believe, where we look at it like edge on, and then that's how you can see that there's like a bulge. So, but just because of how, you know, everything is oriented to us, and the fact that these objects are really, really, really far away, is, you know, we can't exactly adjust their orientation. We can kind of guess, you know, like how deep and how thick they are simply by looking at other models. But yeah, but this part right here in the middle, yeah, that's probably a bulge. For all the 12-year-olds out there, it's probably a bulge. Doggo, you're in here, but you're not on your mark. Get on your mark. By the way, they totally love Sundays. So I'm happy with this one. So we're going to save the file. And you can't see me doing this for reasons I don't understand. Puck is a terrible actor. You know what? I'm going to allow that mint ship. I'm going to allow that. Just because I think it's hilarious. I just think it's hilarious. So my nephew visited me briefly over Thanksgiving. We had to drive to go get him. So I'm driving him around, and it's just him and me. And he starts making a Uranus joke. He's like, you know about, and he's been exposed to the planetarium stuff since he was real young. So he starts to make a Uranus joke, and I'm like, he's like, Uranus? I'm like, come on, it's Uranus. It's Uranus. No, Uranus. I don't remember the entire joke, and I'm sure somebody on the internet can look it up for me. But it essentially had to do with the fact that Uranus is a gas giant and something about farting. I'm like, that joke is actually, you know, kind of correct. I'm okay. So, like, okay, you remember that Uranus is a gas giant. I am totally okay with this silly little joke. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't remember the rest of the joke. But he had fun with it. So, we're opening up a new file. There we go. Stop barking. Oh no, this one's really has zero clipping at all and is really faint. So the last image we were looking at used a wide filter, and then this one's fairly narrow. Uranus? That's a new one. Is that a Canadian thing? It sounds like it's a Canadian thing. Uranus rhymes with moose. So yeah, I don't like any of this because there is no black clipping, which I'm sure a lot of you are like, this is great. But the cool thing is you can still see that central feature, and it only picked out certain highlights. Like, there's not nearly as much detail as there was in the other one. So we're going to do that. Zoom out. And that clipped a lot. Probably too much. Probably way too much. We're going to go back in here. And adjust that just a little bit. You'd think so, but Greek, I think. Huh. And moose pad. Oh, there was a female astronaut on the first Hubble repair mission? That's pretty cool. Where I live, it's just named Uran, no us. Fenring. I don't even know what to do with you, man. I don't even know what to do with you. So, yeah. Larry says, I like Dr. Pamela's comment. It's either Uranus or Uranus, but no matter which you pick, small children will always giggle. Can confirm. My niece isn't quite old enough to pick up on low humor, but my nephew, who is 11, just thinks it's hilarious. I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? Fenring says he wasn't even joking. I forget where Fenring lives, actually. I just know Fenring doesn't join us for Uno. So yeah. Shameless plug for our Discord. Occasionally, although I don't think everybody can see it, we play Uno randomly, kind of late at night for the East Coast, on Tabletop Simulator. So yeah, if you have Steam and you have Tabletop Simulator and you have Discord, by all means, join us on Discord. Add Binary Ablaze on Steam. You know, I think we'll try to make it more of a public notice when we do Uno. We don't stream our like informal Uno games. We don't. We might. I have to talk to Pamela about that, and I'm thinking that's going to be more of like a CosmoQuest after hours thing. We probably will stream Uno during our Hangout-a-thon, which is right before Christmas. I will be going out to Edwardsville, which is where Pamela is, for the Hangout-a-thon. So I get to do major cuddles on Stella and stream using Pamela's studio and equipment, because she has multiple studios and I have this one studio area. Keeper of Maps says we could stream our informal Uno games. Oh my, I don't know if we could stream it, but I don't know which channel we should do. So right now in this image, because it's so narrow, I'm trying to decide how much of the stuff I want blacked out, and I'm thinking this is an okay amount. People in that Michigan town get really touchy when you say Lake Orion and not Lake Orion. It is going to be pretty awesome. We are totally going to occupy the same meat space. It will be for, ironically, the second time in 2 months, because we'll occupy the same meat space for AGU. And she's not going to AAS, so I won't be occupying meat space with her there. But yeah, I don't think Pamela and I have occupied the same meat space for several years. It's been a hot minute. It's been a way hot minute. There was potential for me to meet up with her at, not this past planetarium conference, but the one before. But it didn't work out. Alright, so if anybody's curious, because you may actually be able to see it, it looks like there's a band like right here, and another band right here, and then a band right here. You are not crazy. Those are actually there, and that's artifacts from overlapping images. So, speaking of low, my pilot neurosurgeon friend, her kids wanted to throw something at the TV for the Young Sheldon NASA episode. I don't even... Puck. Hit your mark. Sorry if doggy cam's a little boring, but I totally don't have tracking, and that's about as much as my house as I want you to see is that corner. That was the one where Elon did a cameo? Oh my. Okay then. Yeah, I kind of figured you were talking about Elon Musk. Alright, so I'm going to save this one, because I'm about as happy as it's going to get. Is that on the image, or is that my monitor? It's on the image, but we're just gonna... Or it's just not effect. Hi, Mr. Keys, welcome! Hey! Puck! We have a new friend. We need to say hi to the new friend. So I'm about ready to open up my last image. This one is the 814 wide filter. Because we didn't do all the wide filters at the same time, I'm going to have to readjust. Oh, I'm not going to have to adjust as much as I thought I was. So, hey Puck. Come on, over here. Hey. Speak. Come on, speak. Speak. Come on. Yeah? Is that how you say hello to our new friends? Speak. Tell him hi. Come on. He's like, I just want that Cheerio. Speak. Come on. Yeah? Speak. Yeah? Yeah? Are you excited about new friends? Yeah? Speak. Okay. It's behind you somewhere, buddy. You'll find it. There. So, Mr. Keys, there is totally a second dog. You probably won't see her because she's a little camera shy. Also, if there's enough treats, my dogs will totally fight over them. Which some people think is hilarious, and I am just mortified by. So, that was adjusting the white cut off. Let's look at the black cut off. I'm excited about all the new friends. Puck says, I'm excited about Cheerios, but whatever. He's allowed to be excited about Cheerios. He is doing much better. He's had a good few days. So there's a little bit of that. But you wanna know what? I mean... Let's back this off just a little bit. Actually, there's a faster way to do that. Oh wow, I'm actually glad I did that because this pulled out a whole lot more detail than I was expecting. So let me try again in the corner. That didn't really do anything. So yeah, yeah, compared to the last image, this has a lot of dust in it. And I just heard Puck jump up on the couch. Hey. I should have put Tinker's blanket in the corner. Hi, crispy fried man. Hi! So, we're finishing up with, because I'm pretty happy with this last image. It is pretty easy to process these. It doesn't take very long. So we're finishing up with liberating images from the Hubble Space Telescope to a file format that Photoshop will like. Yes, this is totally from Hubble. This is NGC 1300. I can't remember how old the data is, but Hubble, fun fact, Hubble does not take pictures in color. It also does not take long rectangular images like this. This is made up of 3 or 4 other images that have been stacked together. And like here, you can see what looks like a band because that's where an image was. That's one overlay. And over here, there's another overlay. So this 3 or 4 images that have been essentially stitched, stacked, and drizzled together. Mintship asks, do you has a contract to clean these images or just for funds? I do this partially because I think it's cool, and I only do this stuff on stream. So while I don't have a contract to do it, I'm getting paid to do it. I like doing it because I think it's fun. I enjoy going through the whole process. And this is technically data visualization. It falls under this big People do this as their full-time professional jobs. I am not one of those people. But all the data to do this is essentially free. So Neuropilot says, I thought almost all deep space images are colorized, not raw visual spectrum. You are correct. The data that comes down from the telescopes is in grayscale, and it's been put through different filters. This filter is the 814 wide. It covers a wide spectrum of wavelengths. The last image, if you were watching, that I did was a very narrow spectrum, which means it didn't catch a whole lot. And words, Annie. Each filter captures different bits of wavelength. People processing the images, scientists, whoever, assign different colors to different wavelengths depending on whatever. There is a kind of standard Hubble palette, and we'll talk about that the next time I work on these images, because right now I'm just getting them from that standardized FITS format that Photoshop doesn't like to a format that Photoshop likes. I'm also adjusting, I hesitate to use the word exposure, but I'm also adjusting the cutoffs at each end because I want to keep as much as the data as possible, but I also don't want a lot of noise. So all this blue that you see is the black cutoff, and I'm just keeping it there because it's not part of the galaxy and it's noise to me. Oh, sorry. Sorry. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing here. And this was actually the last image, and we have about 5 minutes left. So I'm going to save this one. Neuropilot says, I think NASA are considering reusing some DoD small sats built but not launched as mini space-based telescopes. Just not the W1st one. Crispy Fried Man says, I'm curious to know more about the filters and how the colors are determined. The colors we'll talk about a different time. Let me save this file real quick before I forget about it. Hey, no. Whatever you think is outside worth barking about is not worth barking about. So, I have bad news about next Sunday. I was going to get to that in a minute, but I have bad news about next Sunday. I will not be streaming next Sunday because I will be either in the airport or in the air. I will be traveling to Washington, D.C. If any of you are there in Washington, D.C., please join our Slack, our Discord, or whatever, because we are going to have a little community meetup with myself and Dr. Pamela and more of the team. Yeah, I know, Keeper of Maps. I know. But you guys will survive. I promise. The conference starts on Monday. A bunch of us are flying in Sunday. Neuropilot says, as I understood, getting time on Hubble, etc. is very tough, so having smaller space telescopes might be useful for astronomers. Yes, it is very difficult to get time on Hubble. This is a tangent from AGU, but we'll talk about this now. It is very difficult to get time on Hubble. And it is pretty competitive. I don't remember the latest stats of who gets, what time on, or how many proposals get through, but the astronomers I know and work with at Youngstown State University, they will put in multiple proposals, and they may or may not get through. And when they do get through, they take orbits and orbits and orbits and orbits of data. And all the data, comes down as these raw FITS images, and they do stuff with them. The last thing that they did, they got a bunch of FITS images, and they, they do a lot of their own image processing. They don't do this kind of image processing because the data they took wasn't really pretty looking. Like, it's important, it's science, but it wasn't a lot to look at. Galaxies are pretty, planets are pretty, random stars when you're not sure what you're looking at is not the prettiest thing. So, yeah, it is difficult to get time on Hubble. I'm not sure how well these small sats would do for some different space science, but I'm sure there's a use because there's been a gazillion different uses for Hubble. Minship says, could be measuring gas clouds or background noise or something non-interesting. They were measuring star formation in the galaxy M101. And I remember that M101 is weird, but I can't remember why, unfortunately. But it wasn't, it essentially was not, the quote norm of star formation in galaxies. And that is the 2 o'clock beeper. Photons need direction. Every photon deserves a chance. So it was interesting. Every photon is sacred. Because photon is 2 syllables and it doesn't work nearly as well as the original song, Paranor. But, yeah, Dr. Durrell and Dr. Feldmeyer were looking at stuff that was way cool but not visually interesting. I tried to colorize some of their data. You can, I think, see some attempts of that on YouTube, where we archive all of our videos. And hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, come check us out on Twitch. So Yeah, I think I attempted to colorize it, and it wasn't pretty. It was only 2 filters, which I really prefer to colorize images with 3 filters. And it was like stars and stuff. It wasn't a whole lot to look at. So, yeah, that's that. So I'm going to ramble on about fundraising and EGU in a bit. So if you have any questions, please type them now in chat at me so I can see them. I will be watching. So let's talk about why there's no stream next week. I and a bunch of the team are going to a conference called the American Geophysicist Union. It's my first big, research science type conference, and I'm excited. And most of the team is going to be there throughout most of the week. So I am leaving. Excuse me. I'm leaving on Sunday, and I think my flight's pretty early. And the time that I normally would be streaming, I'm probably either going to be moving to the airport or moving from the airport to the hotel or chilling in the airport. So I can stream, but I don't own a laptop. And I'm not taking my baby. I know you can't see me petting, but I'm petting my computer. I'm not taking my desktop with me. If I would stream, it would just be from my phone, and it would probably just be me talking about AGU and etc. If you guys are interested in that, let me know, and I'll see what I need to do to make streaming from my phone happen. I believe our regularly scheduled streams throughout that week, Daily Space, potentially Astro 101, potentially Pamela's, I think Pamela's planning on doing her office hours, etc. I believe all of those streams are going to, hey, thanks for the bits! Are we ready? Are we ready? Are you ready? Are you ready, Puck? See if we can get another handful to make the other dog come out. You don't want some bits? Or bits. You don't want some Cheerios? She's like, no, I want to lay on my blanket. Sorry, y'all get to look at Puck. Hey, thanks for the bits, Bad Panda Bear. My dogs love you right now. Tinker's getting interested. Go on, go. I think Tinker's gonna eat the ones all off stream. Hi, Canada Kim. So yeah, we're all going to this conference. It's the week long. I'll fly back on Saturday. So, hey Veronica, I'm almost out of Cheerios. Good thing the stream's almost over. So I fly back on Saturday, and I plan on continuing continuing on that following Sunday for the colorizing. I do not promise that I will be in the best condition, but yeah. So I'm not streaming next week because travel, but I'll be streaming the following week. Oof. Okay, so that was AGU. All right, so this is awkward and a little weird, and I know I always tune out the donation stuff on NPR, PBS, etc., etc., etc. So our funding got cut. There were some overruns with James Webb. I really do hope James Webb goes into the sky and does good science, especially because, overruns caused budget cuts. So our budget was cut. We knew this was coming. We kind of have... There are plans in place to get more grants. We will get more grants. Getting grants takes time. But until then, we need bare minimum of $60,000 to keep all the support staff employed at least part-time. And support staff include myself, Tanner, Ben, whom I don't think you guys have ever seen, Susie, potentially Nancy, Tanner, Jay, and I think I'm leaving people out, like Taylor and Maya, potentially. Like, there's a big, long list of people. You don't get to see all of us, but there's a whole team behind CosmoQuest. It's not just Dr. Pamela and myself. Yeah. So $60,000 would keep us all employed part-time, etc., etc. Pamela would love to have 120,000. So to give you guys an idea of, why we're asking so much, is that I streamed today for an hour, and I probably spent today, which is not typical of all days, I probably spent an hour and a half getting ready for the stream. So that's 2.5 hours. I get paid $15 an hour. So that's, let's just round it up and say $45. And that's $45 for today, assuming that if I took an hour prep for every hour I streamed, for, especially mostly for this. Yeah, Dr. Matt and Dr. Andreas, I'm not entirely too sure where all of their funding goes or comes from, but I believe they are partially funded by CosmoQuest. So, yeah, so let's say $30 for every Sunday I stream. That's $120 a month. That's just my salary. There's a thing called fringe on top of that. And I don't know how much my fringe is. I know it's a small percentage because I have healthcare. Before you guys panic, I have healthcare. It's good healthcare. But the university that I work for, Youngstown State, does not provide me with healthcare because I work part-time. So, I know that I like giving, or when I donate, I like knowing where my money's going to. And yeah, it costs about $120 every month for me to stream this. I will be okay. I'm fortunate. And losing this job isn't going to put me out on the street. Losing this job doesn't mean I'm going to starve. Losing this job does not mean I lose my health care. It means things are going to be a little tight, and I'm going to have to lean on my social support network a little more. Plus, I'm not going to get paid to do cool stuff. I may or may not stream after the beginning of the year. I think I will continue doing this streaming because I really do enjoy colorizing this data. I really do enjoy, broadcasting the rocket launches, if you haven't watched a rocket launch with me before. I enjoy that, but it's even better when I get paid. So there are piecemeal things that are going to keep me, afloat, but not everybody in the team is as fortunate. Plus, yeah, having this job and not having this job is sometimes the difference of, this sounds really petty and stupid, but sometimes the difference between going out to eat and eating ramen noodles. Yeah. My dogs are going to eat well throughout all of this. Nobody panic. Yeah. This is awkward. So I know some of you have already given. I know some of you can't give. So here are the things you can do to help. You can follow this channel. You can tell your friends about this channel. You can use your, if you have a Prime subscription, you can use your Prime subscription for this channel. You can volunteer for our Hangout-a-thon. We are going to be streaming for 40 hours straight. That's a lot of time to fill. 40 hours. At some point, yes, we're going to be playing games. If you have a little bit of money to donate, I'm suggesting $10. You can play games for, with us for an hour. If you donate more than that, you can pick the game that we play. We will probably play games like Tabletop Simulator, Golf with Your Friends, Human Fall Flat was kind of fun. Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Aw, thank you, Larry. Um, they're saying Warframe is free. Um, etc., etc., etc. So, I know I'm saying so a lot. I'm so sorry. But we also need things to fill the other hours. If you want, yes, Uno. Uno's on Tabletop Simulator. Yes, there will be Uno, and it will get funny and hilarious. I really hate doing this. I really hate asking y'all for money. And it feels like begging. Because it kind of is. But yeah, for $15 an hour, you sure get a whole lot of science education out of me. I'm cheap. Yeah. Our servers are... here's the things I know. I know I'm tangential all over the place, and I apologize. Here's the things I know for sure are funded. Pamela's funded. Pamela, I think, will also be tightening her belt, but all the money that we're asking for is to pay staff. It's not to pay Pamela. It's not to pay our servers, because our servers are covered. And yeah. Ooh, freedom tickets? I don't know what freedom tickets is. So Astro YYZ says, it's reality of science that many scientists need to fundraise while also doing their own work, unfortunately. Yeah. Hey, no. I did not ask for your opinion on this. I know you have strong opinions on this. How about you come on camera and share those strong opinions with us? Come on. Get on camera and share those strong opinions. Yeah. Veronica says, don't feel bad. You're doing what you have to, and the stupid economy of not funding science is the problem. Yeah. 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 And for some of you that are like, oh no, it's $15 isn't a lot. Some parts of the world, some parts of the country, that it's not a lot. But I actually look up Youngstown. $15 an hour on top of my pension is pretty comfortable here. I live in a very low cost of area place. When Favorite Human and I do have to move, because we will eventually have to move, we are spoiled by low cost of living, and we're probably going to move to a place with higher cost of living. So, yeah, the Hangout-a-thon. Heck, if you want to, like, sit and chat with us about, I don't know, Uranus, and make bad science jokes, submit something. If you have something that you want to donate for giveaways, drop us a note. Talk to us. We would be happy to accept donations for giveaways. Right now, for giveaways, we have mugs from the Ward Beecher Planetarium. We have stuff from Pamela's Loot Crates. And we probably have some, like, stickers and lanyards and stuff that say CosmoQuest. So, yeah. You can also, other ways you can help. You can buy our merch on Redbubble. We don't get a whole lot off of it, but I think the t-shirt designs are too cool. And yes, the Mercury one is a feature, not a bug. So, go check out the Mercury t-shirt. It's a feature, not a bug. Yeah, that's it for the donation spiel. I really enjoy doing this, guys. I really do. And continuing to get paid for it would be freaking awesome. Other public announcements. If you get an email from CosmoQuestX@gmail.com asking you to fill out a survey on doing citizen science, yes, that is legit. It is totally legit. yes, please fill it out. And no, don't panic if you haven't gotten that email yet, because we're doing them slowly in batches so they don't get marked as spam. I believe Ben is doing this, and I think he has a goal of something like 100 a day. He may have upped it since we found ways to make it faster, but I believe if you're registered on the CosmoQuest website to do, crater circling, which I highly recommend you do, please do crater circling. I believe if you're registered on that, you will get an email. If you aren't registered but still want to do the don't do it. If you aren't registered but still want to do the survey, let me know, and I'll see about getting the URL and posting it out during one of the streams. So, I think that's everything. Does anybody have any questions? Star Song, yeah, I know they're looking for interviews, and you know what? They really need the interviews. I think I got that email too. Just do it. Steal Nike's slogan, just do it, I guess. That is actually a way to help us. The interviews totally are a way to help us. They need the data for NASA. Because at the end of the year, even though we're no longer going to be getting funding from them, we still have stuff to turn into NASA. So I'm not seeing any questions pop up. And Doggy Cam is failing. So I'm going to use my last bit of Cheerios, not Oreos, although they would love. I have no idea what the interview is like. I don't know what kind of questions they're going to ask. I know zero of the things. You probably won't feel dumb doing it, because they're really interested in citizens doing citizen science. They know that you're not a scientist. Hey! Have some Cheerios. Be quiet. They know you're not a scientist. So they might just ask you, like, your motivations. Why do you do this? What got you started? Why do you continue doing this? Because if I recall correctly, there are a lot of visitors to the site that just go, circle a few craters, and then never come back. And I think they're interested in the people that, keep coming back and keep circling craters, and we have a few power users like that. So I think you'll be okay. I don't think they're going to ask you for, like, I don't know, the meaning of the universe and everything, life and everything. So I think you'll be okay. I should probably fill that out and do that too. So, I don't see any questions. We've totally gone over time. I've given you, thanks for the follow! I don't have any more Cheerios to throw at the dogs or capture their attention. Otherwise, I'd be capturing their attention. But if you know the meaning of the universe. Oh my goodness. Now chat's just being silly. Anyways, so I've done all the public announcements. I've done the fundraising thing. Thank you, everyone, for the follows. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for all of your questions. Puck. Yes, you. Puck thanks you for all of the Cheerios. And yeah. I'm sure Dr. Pamela knows, but feel free to send any links, etc. for TKF Discord. Yes. Actually, Neuropilot, can you post the invite link to TKF Discord real quick? Because I am not in that Discord, and I feel like I probably should be. But yeah, I think my answers will be inspired by Annie. Because reasons. Okay, I'm cool with that, Star Song. Because reasons. Okay, so yes. The end. I have no doggies on doggy camera. So yes, thank you all. Dude. I will see you all for sure in a couple weeks. If there's a launch before that, I'll see you at the launch. So yeah, that's all, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time. And now I'm going to figure out how to roll the credits. Hooray! Come on, you can do it.